Mom drops off Jaylen Brown. He's in the gym with you guys. There's got to be a time where adversity hits and JB's like, man, I don't know if this is for me. Or he goes back to mom complaining.
No. She didn't drop him off. She was right there with him. And the first time he made a mistake, that went right to the chest. And he looked over at her, and she put her head in the book. Right then, when she put her head in the book, he knew, I can't run. I can't. And it's the same thing going back to sending the kid to Ole Miss. When he hit that adversity, whatever's going on, he can't run. So he going to deal with it. And that's how they get better. You know what I mean? He dealt with it at 13.
So for our parents that may be listening right now, right, what are some things that we can tell them to look out for, to know if they are in a situation with a trainer or a coach where they can have that confidence to put their head in the book and say, I'm in the right spot?
I'm gonna give you different points. I'm gonna first start off with what May said. You know what I mean? That same parent don't go to the doctor's office and tell the doctor, you know what I mean, how to treat their child when they go for checkups or if they go for an ailment or a problem. You know what I mean? Don't come in the gym and tell the coach or the trainer what to do. That's not your expertise. You know what I mean? There's a fine line, so you have to be a parent. Now, you know what I mean? If you don't like the situation, you can remove yourself. But you should have thought about that before you got into the situation. As a parent, do your homework. You know what I mean? Check the resumes. You know what I mean? See, well, you know what? If I want a pro, you know what I mean? Will I send my child to someone that has never developed a pro? No, we not. This is not trial and error. We not, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and play with my child and my time. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. Right. You know what I mean? The next thing, and I'm gonna give you one. You ready for the next, Jewel? This one here is crucial. This one, listen, I stole this from Chauncey Billups.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If your dream ain't one call, 2 phone calls away, if that person can't maximize your dream in 1 phone call or 2 phone calls, you're in the wrong circle. So if I'm with a coach or a trainer and my child has dreams and aspirations and he can't make it happen in 1 phone call or 2 phone calls, I don't need to be with him.
And that go back to the resume, man. You know, I never ever in my life want to be arrogant, but it's, you know, you always got to have a sense of being, you know, just humble. But at the end of the day, like, it would be people who would question me about, like, man, what? Listen, man, the one thing I always respected was he put the time in. You know what I mean? Like, when you there, I'm talking about there from the time the gym opened to the time that the gym closed, we was there, man. You know what I'm saying? So it really didn't matter what nobody else was saying. And the last part was, after you start rattling out this name and this kid and this, and you know, and people start seeing, like you said, hey, if I want a certain brand and I know this person has that brand, that's where I'm going to shop. You know? What Frank Lucas had? The Blue Magic?
Blue Magic,
baby.
Blue Magic.
But you
It's
got
a brand name.
Let me tell you, a lot of, you know, because you have talented kids everywhere. Some of them don't make it. Why? You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to do with basketball, just anything in life. It's about relationships. Everything is relationships. You know what I mean? That Fortune 500 company, who's going to get the internship? A friend of a friend of a friend. 2 phone calls away. Same thing in basketball. So, you know what I mean? This trainer can be great. This player development person can be great at what they do. But at the end of the day, if they don't have the relationships to get you where you're supposed to be, change the circle.
And it was a couple of times that.
Amen.
That's simple.
Man.
Think about this.
Talk that talk, bro.
You got to realize that that's in every phase of life that you in. If you're gonna be successful, if you're an artist, If you ain't got the right hub around you that can break you to the masses, what you doing? You're gonna be playing local. And that's the thing, like when you looked at the situation that we had, people could say whatever they wanted to say. You know, and look, I'm gonna say this. Before I got there, it was bumping. It was already bumping. But it went from here, it just went through the roof. So you talking about you want your kids seen. You better get with somebody who on the national circuit, who's playing in those venues where you got this coach, that coach. And then you talking about playing in the summer on the national circuit, you better get with an organization that's got that respect nationally, you know, and that's what they provided.
Huff, you got to look at it. Tomorrow, college coaches can come out, right?
Yep.
10 years ago, on the 9th of September, at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, we
was
were
in the
there.
gym.
I know where they were.
You had 60 coaches
Yeah.
lined up because we were the first ones there. We was the only ones doing 6 o'clock in the morning.
And the first time I was told, hey, look, we'll be in here at 6 in the morning, I'm thinking it's just going to be a workout. But then when you walk in and you see NC State, you know, Alabama, Georgia, everybody, I'm like, oh, this kind of different. So it go back to what he said. If you want your kid to get to a certain phase, you got to be in the right pond, man. If you ain't in the right spot, you wasting your time. Now, I won't say you wasting your time. It's a harder road.
Yeah, it's
It's
a tougher
a harder road to
It's
get
a tougher
there.
road, and that's where they get frustration, and that's where they get, you know what I mean, I'm unhappy, I'm gonna leave. Then that's where you get disgruntled kids. Then that's where you get your, I'm going to segue into the next segment. That's where you get your Antonio Browns and your DeMarcus Cousins. You know what I mean?
Right,
That's
right,
and
right.
your Boogie Cousins. That's where you get those entitled kids that feel like, you know what I'm saying? This is where it's at. I'm bigger than what's going on. Whereas, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give you another one. If you the biggest fish in your pond, then it ain't, you in the wrong waters.
Yep.
There's always got to be somebody better than you.
And it was a point in the program where kids came to the program for what they could do for the program, not what the program can do for me. See, that's how the shit was rolling. But when that turns, it's time to go. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how that whole thing was running. You know, and I'm not gonna be disrespectful. Salute to everybody who was around what we had going, from Lip to Ryan to G to DA, everybody. But when those kids came, that's what time it was. Like, what can I do for the program? Because the program has such a history. So that's what it was.
We talking about that great historic Wheeler High School program, by the way.